Good evening tonight from Florida, where Hurricane Milton has left a devastating path of destruction. And it wasn't just the hurricane, it was the deadly tornadoes spawned by this system. Well, more than 36 reported tornadoes. We are here in Fort Pierce in St. Lucie County, where authorities late today revealed at least 6 people have now died from these tornadoes. In fact, the family in this home right behind me, a mother and father and her 4 young children, they all survived this. The parents were huddled over their children as the windows came crashing in. The interior walls began to buckle, but one of those tornadoes soon moved in. Meantime, on Florida's Gulf Coast tonight, where the hurricane made landfall last night, the stunning damage is just now coming to light tonight. Landfall around 8:30 Eastern time last night near Sarasota. Hurricane Milton was a Category 3 with 120-mile-an-hour winds. In St. Petersburg, the winds ripping the roof off of the Tropicana Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. First responders have been gathering in that stadium and were moved just before the hurricane blew in. A giant construction crane smashing onto an office building in downtown St. Petersburg, coming straight down. Tonight, there have been hundreds of rescues from the storm surge and flooding. This 14-year-old boy actually rescued from the rising waters, clinging to debris. In Punta Gorda, boats carried by the storm surge left on lawns. Hurricane Milton also spawning 126 tornado warnings across a wide swath of the state, shattering Florida's record for tornado warnings issued in a single day. In the end, more than 36 tornadoes reported on the ground, this giant twister right near Palm Beach. And here in Fort Pierce, violent tornadoes turned homes to splinters. I spoke with one couple trapped in their car. They had just pulled into their driveway when the tornado was suddenly right over them. Tonight here, the devastation across this state, the rescue efforts still underway at this hour, and the families who told me here, they are grateful they survived this. Tonight here, millions across Florida are getting their first look at the deadly, catastrophic damage and widespread flooding caused by Hurricane Milton. Roaring ashore as a Category 3 hurricane, bringing powerful 120-mile-per-hour winds, heavy rain, and torrential flooding, making landfall in Sarasota County at 8:30 p.m. Eastern last night as we were on the air. Hurricane Milton has just made landfall. The winds howling. I can tell you, the winds have been extraordinary here. The rain coming in sideways. You can see it blowing here behind us. Tonight, at least 10 dead from this storm, and that number is expected to grow. Oh my God. This evening, more than 3 million people in Florida are without power. Oh, there it is! Transformers exploding, streetlights crashing, a tree coming down through the roof of this home. In downtown St. Petersburg, trees toppled by the hurricane. The roof of Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, shredded, parts of the roof ripped off. It was supposed to be used as a shelter for 10,000 emergency workers. They were sent elsewhere just before the hurricane hit. Tonight, the view inside, debris scattered across the stadium. And not far from the stadium, a crane smashing into this building where the Tampa Bay Times is located.
We felt a huge bang, shook our building. You can see it right from across our window, and the crane was gone.
In North Fort Myers, a horrific sight of the rising waters.
That was a big alligator just bit our tire.
An alligator emerging from the floodwaters, biting at this car's tires. Tonight, the massive search and rescue operation now underway. Orange County Fire Rescue waiting in waist-deep waters to rescue stranded residents. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office going door to door on boats and in high-water vehicles, rescuing trapped families. Tonight, they say they've rescued more than 725 people and counting. Among them, 135 residents from a senior living facility. And this 14-year-old boy floating on a piece of fence. And even before Hurricane Milton made landfall, the system spawning deadly tornadoes across Florida, all the way to the East Coast and across South Florida. These NOAA time-lapse satellite images as Milton barrels closer, showing intense lightning strikes across South Florida. There were at least 38 reported tornadoes, the most tornado warnings in a single day ever for Florida.
Look at that.
In Wellington, Florida, power lines flaring as a tornado rips across the road.
Needs to go.
In Broward County, near Alligator Alley.
Watch out, watch out. Hold slowly, looks like it's turning back around.
These residents evacuating when all of a sudden their phone began receiving emergency tornado alerts. And then they see it.
It's like right there, man.
And tonight from above, you can see the devastation. Across Martin and Palm Beach counties, homes destroyed. In Fort Pierce,
large, violent tornadoes hitting multiple communities. We met a mother and father, grateful to have survived this with their 4 children.
All the windows blew in.
Yeah.
Doors were coming off their hinges.
Correct.
And did you guys just huddle with the kids?
We did. We did.
Karen and Roger Desir show us the X that authorities sprayed on their garage door.
This X on your garage door means they checked the house to make sure.
To check that we were alive.
And the kids are okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
They take us inside their home.
Glass shattered here.
Many of the windows now shattered and covering the floors.
You're huddled upstairs over 2 of the kids. You're down here over 2 of the kids.
Yep.
What do you say to the children as the house is shaking?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine.
They take us upstairs to show us their children's rooms.
The wall completely gave way.
Yeah, it just gave away.
And both of the windows blew in.
Yep.
But thank goodness they weren't playing in their rooms.
They weren't in their rooms. Thank God. Yeah.
Tonight, the children are now with family. A teddy bear and a small plastic guitar on their bedroom floor. Across the street, Nelson and Maria were coming home from their friend's house about 12 houses up the street. The weather was still calm, but their friend decided to drive them. As they pulled into their driveway, suddenly the tornado was on top of them.
You're just 12 houses down the road, down the street, and your friends say, we'll drive you home just to be sure.
Yes.
And they pull you in the driveway and you had no time to even get out of the car.
They had no time to get out. They huddled in the car, sitting right in the driveway, until it was over. Inside the garage, they now show me the damage to the car, the windows blown in.
We thought they were gonna die the truck.
When you look at the car, it's a miracle that you're standing here talking to me.
I didn't even know what it was. Just a lot of noise and all of a sudden bang, bang. Touch down and I go in the back. It's terrible. Never seen anything like it.
Tonight, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis authorizing thousands of Florida National Guard troops to respond, saying he knows that Hurricane Milton could have been even worse.
The storm was significant, but thankfully this was not the worst case scenario. The storm did weaken before landfall, and the storm surge, as initially reported, has not been as significant overall as what was observed for Hurricane Helene.
And along the Gulf Coast tonight, where the hurricane made landfall, in Venice, debris in the streets, this roof torn off this home. In Bradenton Beach, Police Chief John Cosby.
I'm going to say very close to 100% of our population evacuated. We've never had an event like this.
In Sarasota, families just now returning.
We've been through a bunch of them, and they've never been this bad.
Tonight, President Biden now calling on Congress to return to Washington immediately to pass additional funding for disaster aid and making this vow to the people of Florida.
I promise you have to pick up the pieces still. I want you to know we'll do everything in our power to help you put pieces back together and get all that you need.
While back in their garage, Nelson and Maria in front of that car, telling me they are grateful they are here.
We're here. We survived.
And we're so glad.
So glad. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You heard that couple just telling me they're grateful to be alive tonight. You know, these tornadoes moved in very quickly. They told me they had no time to get out of that car. They were sitting in their driveway with that tornado right over them.